Hello and welcome. I'm going to get rid of this for a moment and talk to you all. Hello and welcome to a new chapter in the story of Mercy of the Icons. I'm Matthew, co-host of the Effect podcast, and I'm blessed by not having Dave and his blooming full auto with us. Both Yaqub and Oshian, even as we speak, are on Ordana or whatever planet it was they've been on, and this is happening right over the other side of the horizon in the planet on the system known as Dabaran. And I've got two people who you may recognize from earlier episodes of Mercy of the Icon. I'm trying to think which order we should do this in. Let's go with the oldest old hand here. Do you want to say a little bit about yourself and your character, Neil?
Thanks. I'm Neil. I'm from Paladin Roleplaying. We make dice and stuff. You can find us at paladinroleplaying.com. And I am playing Ghazi Malouf, a slightly shady figure, a bit of a criminal and a fugitive. Currently sort of on the run from people he owes money to in Coriolis. And so Ghazi's in his early 30s, shaved head and abstract tattoos covering all of his scalp, but you often can't see that because he always wears a hood up. Ornate sword tattoos on both arms. He loves his sword. Always dressed in a long coat, always with the hood up. And he's very slim and kind of wiry with a sort of a kind of a rat-like face, and a bit kind of sort of nervous and always like fiddling with things and kind of twitching and looking around, kind of a kind of nervous energy to him. And that's Ghazi.
Brilliant. And Mohammed, do you want to introduce Zaki?
Sure.
And yourself, of course.
Yes, I'm Mohammed. I'm honored to be one of the Patreon for the awesome Effect podcast. I'm playing I'm playing Zaki Barakat. He's a data djinn. He's an overconfident thrill seeker. Like we saw last time we were together. He botched a very big job with the mafia of Mira, as we can call it. He took a job with Oshian and Yaqub in Zalos, and as we spectacularly saw, he was dropped from the ship by Oshian. And
we are talking physically dropped out of a spaceship.
Yes. After the debacle that happened with Samesh Alim and the assassination attempt, he had only one choice, to join the Cold Flame or either face the execution. So he gladly joined the Cold Flames, despite everything that he believed in, but he had no choice other to join them and play along with the role.
Yeah, I think the Cold Flame aren't expecting you to be a sudden convert to the Order of the Pariah. I think they see you very much as an agent of theirs. They're not expecting you, to renounce your heretical ways. You'll probably die in the end. You're only delaying your execution. But while you might be useful, there's a chance they can save your soul. They're not particularly pushing it. So they're not looking for major changes in your behavior. What they are looking for in these times are people that can go places and do things who aren't the Order of the Pariah, because the Order of Pariah are having a bit of a hard time in the Third Horizon generally. And that's where I thought we might come back to you, Neil, because last time we saw you, it was still only book 1 of Mercy of the Icons. It was kind of the climactic final act of that book, but a lot's happened since then. If you remember, of course, you had discovered a cell of people who appeared to be Order of the Pariah, kidnapping mystics, but also other people who weren't mystic at all from Coriolis, and sending them down to Kua, where there was a terrible slave trade going on. That was publicized, and very much people were pointing fingers at the Order of the Pariah. While you were last on Coriolis, things were getting quite uncomfortable. There was a big riot. The Order's Samaritans. So one of the public, and if you like, the nice faces of the Order of Pariah is the Samaritans, which runs free hospitals all over the Third Horizon, particularly a big one treating hyper sickness on Coriolis. And that was raided, and Sister Almas, who was the sort of leader of that of the Samaritans Order, and also the representative on the Coriolis Council of the Samaritans, and that's the Order of Pariah. She was murdered in the middle of this riot. There is a Cold War gone hot happening with the blockade of Awaz. The Legion spaceships are facing off against the Order of the Pariah's spaceships. A ship that was going to Coriolis to pick refugees, Order of the Pariah refugees off Coriolis, was shot at by Legion ships. It's all getting a little bit tense. What else can I tell you? Oh, one of the things that relates to your trade, that is to say crime on Coriolis, that has somewhat changed hands in that overall crime on Coriolis was overlooked by the Syndicate, and the Syndicate had the Burbasil family behind it, and the Burbasil were Zenithians, so kind of they were tolerated by the Zenithian factions, including the consortium that pretty much runs Coriolis. That has changed, so a lot of your contacts found that they were being booted out of their positions in favor of the Night Hands, who are a gang associated more with the Free League. And the Free League, they've been quite cozy with the consortium for some time, but relationships there are being strained. Yes, here's a statement I can read you, in fact. Yet again, as someone's trying to take advantage of the consortium's generosity at the helm, after the hegemony's recent betrayal, the Free League has followed suit and chosen to nullify the favourable contracts drawn up during the formation of Coriolis. Word is coming in of monopolistic demands made by stevedore Akbars and harbour masters at several large spaceports and trade stations. Customs fees and labour costs are rising. Medical and life insurance is apparently high on the rabble-rousers' agenda. With the Free League's blessing, according to the faction spokesperson Jezebel Nyales. You've heard of Jezebel Nyales being the leader of the Night Hands. Dabaran Kai is debating the issue with an agitated Nyales at the council as we speak. Meanwhile, yes, I think that's probably enough to say. Coriolis was becoming... I should probably talk about the strike. Yeah, this is quite the important point. So you only heard this. You decided it was high time to get away from Coriolis and see if you can find some trade elsewhere. On arrival here at the spaceport, you've been here on Dabaran for a couple of weeks now. You heard from the bulletin news broadcast from Coriolis say, it isn't just here in the ports of Coriolis that the deckhands and engineers have left their stations. Stevedore Akbars, loyal to the League, and the recently deposed council member Jezebel Nyales have suspended all work until Niali's sentencing. Judge Nigella Kurahan Dol Fashra has stated that the investigation will take time as the adjudicators have years of corruption to unravel. His Excellency Abaran Kassar's statement last week regarding the possible expulsion of the Sela and Niales families for their blatant anti-Zenithism has increased tensions in the ports even further. Free trade, the very lifeblood of our economy, hangs in the balance. If it falls, we fall. Never before have the actions of a single faction threatened to destroy the fruits of everyone's joint efforts to build a better horizon. There was also a cult going in there called the Children of the Song. All sorts of nonsense going on. Frankly, you're better off out of there. When you hear that report of people being arrested, whether the crimes are real or not, it strikes me that it's time to go. What brought you, though, Neil, to Dabaran?
Well, there's these rumours. No, not rumours. There's this new drug going around, isn't there?
Tell me more.
Been getting more and more popular. Desdemodu horn. A very powerful aphrodisiac. It's been sweeping cure system, getting more and more popular. And I've been doing a bit of research, and it turns out that it's made from the horn of this animal called the Desdemodu, which lives
is native to Dabaran
here. Exactly. So, of course, the locals don't really. It's protected, or it has some spiritual significance. Whatever. They don't really like it. Obviously the animals being killed, but there are some poachers who have been getting hold of this horn and processing it into this aphrodisiac, which is raising very good money. And I would quite like a bit of that.
Right. Okay, let's cut away from you for a moment and come back to Zaki. Zaki, you've been sent to Dabaran to investigate whether there is a Nazarene cell in Lotus City. So you have come to the nearest spaceport, Bazgura. The Order of the Pariah are not big spenders, so you have had what's called a coffin cabin on the ship that brought you here. It's not first class or second class. Arguably, it's not third class. So
it's some sort of a class. It's not a class. It's not classy at all.
Not at all classy, no. So you are feeling hot and sweaty. You haven't had a change of clothes for some time. And the first thing you want to do is find public baths, a hammam, to give yourself a good scrub over and a clean and a refresh before you start going about your trade and get into Lotus City. And I happen to have one here for you.
Okay.
Here it is. This is Samar's hammam.
That seems out of it. That seems very out of his league. He probably just will go sneak his way out.
No. This is welcome to all spaces here. It's a little bit of luxury, but it's affordable luxury because Samar is a very accommodating sort of person. So broadly speaking, this is a hammam that's divided into two for the two genders. You come in through this way here. There's a desk for the reception desk. You pay just a few birr, and of course they expect a contribution to the icon of the deckhand here. So the pool around here is littered with coins. And then you go one way or the other, depending on what sex you are, into a shower room, first of all, and then a steam room, and then a tepidarium, And finally, and having done all of that, you are relaxing in a loose gown on one of these benches out here, where and overhearing a conversation. I think you must be over here, and next to you is a very wealthy man in a similar state of undress. He has his bodyguard here. Well, his bodyguard, I think, might be in the seat here. And in this seat here is a man you have never met before, but he looks a lot like Neil's character, as he described it. And he is talking very earnestly with the man on the bed next to you. You're not trying to eavesdrop, but quite frankly, you can't help but overhear what he's saying. What, Neil, are you saying to this potential client?
Look, I tell you, I'm your man. I can be discreet, you know. I can blend in. I know Coriolis really well. If you're looking for, you know, a distributor or you know, any involvement at all, I can move the horn, and you know, you won't regret it. Whatever you need, I'm your man.
Well, you know, Da Esfanjar is a sultan who controls great fleets. Shipping will be no problem at all. What about security?
Security, yeah. I'm good with a gun, good with a sword. He rolls up his sleeves to show these sword tattoos. I'm rather fond of using a Dura sword, actually. You know, up close and personal and all that.
And you told my associate here that you have defeated the beast of the cellar on Coriolis.
Yeah, you've heard of it, have you? Pretty fearsome thing that was. But yeah, you know, I can't claim all the credit. You know, to be honest with you, I can't claim all the credit. But I was one of the main participants. It was pretty. I don't know what it was, to be honest with you, but it was pretty fearsome thing. Kept sort of, I don't know, like playing with our minds somehow.
Playing with your minds? What? You're weak-minded.
No. It just had this special. I don't know if it was like pheromones or something. Some kind of power just made us all kind of tripping out. But I was on it, and we took it down. It was me and these.
How did you defeat the beast?
Well, just kept my head, kept a level head, and got a good position. Waited for it to appear, and then just shot it. You know.
You shot it. You shot the beast.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's my memory of it anyway. Yeah, no, I definitely did. Definitely, yes.
No one else was involved.
Well, like I say, there were some other people around. There were these two geezers that was employing us. You know, they were there, but they were not much good in a fight. You know.
And who are these employers? Very illustrious, I imagine.
You probably haven't heard them. These guys called Oshian and Yaqub. They were down there looking for some. I can't remember. It was one of their sister or something. He was looking for something like that. I was just looking for the money, really. But
and you were helping them look for a sister.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That right down in the cellars. You know, it's horrible down there. They needed a bit of expertise. You know, a bit of muscle. So that's where I came in. So
you can see. You probably don't notice, you're concentrating so much on your potential client that you don't notice Zaki's ears prick up and him looking very interestingly at you. But you can see your potential client suddenly take an interest when you mention looking for a missing sister. He says, so did your clients, did you find a sister for them?
Did we? I actually can't remember. We didn't, did we?
Right, I will tell you.
Sorry.
No, you didn't.
No, okay.
In the end, she was dead. You may want to lie at this point, but you did find where the sister was going. You got to what was called the real sanatorium. You realised that they were blasting people down to the surface of Kua. So I'll leave it up to
I
you
didn't
to
remember
say
she was dead. Yeah, okay.
she wasn't dead when you last knew Oshian and Yaqub. So what do you tell them? They seem to be very interested in the fact that you're able to find missing sisters.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we found. Yeah, of course we did. Yeah, that was the whole point. We went down there, killed this beast thing. Obviously, that's not why we went down there, but just kind of got in the way. And yeah, happy endings all round. Yeah.
I think I might make you make a manipulation roll on that one. Because you
Sounds
are obfuscating. If
I
not
am.
downright lying.
Oh dear. I've only got 3. And that's nothing. Should I push it?
Well, I would, because
Why not? First roll of the session. That's still nothing.
okay. Well, he looks at you a little bit skeptical at what you're saying there, but he says, maybe Dar Eshfanjar can help if you prove yourself worthy. Amron, and he refers to the Dar's sort of formal title. Amron is concerned about his children, both students at the Lotus City. His son has gone missing, and his sister is still there, but Amron is concerned for her safety. If you want to have the concession for taking the horn to Coriolis, you'll need to prove yourself first. I assume you have many men here on Dabaran who can help you.
I'm sure I can find some.
Hmm.
It's never been a problem making contacts, you know.
That is your speciality, is it?
One of many. I tell you, I'm your man. The son's missing. I'll find him. Not a problem.
You are not our man until the son is found, and his name is, you've not even asked his name, and his sister Lala is her safety is ensured.
So she's.
But
Lala.
if you're willing to bring them safely back to their father, then I think the Coriolis concession for the horn will be yours.
Very good. Can't say fairer than that.
Very good. At which point he calls for his clothes, takes off his robe in front of everybody, gets dressed, and walks with his bodyguard out of a hammam, leaving you and Zaki at the moment alone.
So, sorry for eavesdropping, but I heard the name Oshian and Yaqub. You're familiar with them?
Yeah, might be. Why? Who's asking?
I am your friend, Zaki. I am acquaintance of also Yaqub and Oshian in some way.
Small universe.
Yeah, indeed. I heard you have troubles. Maybe we can help each other.
Well, so happens I'm in need of a bit of a helping hand. What's your speciality? What do you do?
Maybe I see you are going sword blazing and gun blazing. Maybe I am the one who can open the closed door for you. I'm a data gen.
Could be useful.
Yeah.
How do you feel about how should I put this? Not always following the rules.
Mm, have you heard about the Mira Sport heist?
Yeah, couldn't hardly miss it.
You did? Okay. That's news for me. Okay. I am the one who did the heist secretly on the hush hush.
Well, I'll take your word for that.
You can.
But like I say, I need a bit of help, and
Sure.
you're here in your offering. I reckon we can help each other out.
Sure. I'm not a person for authority, even maybe with my new employer, but you know, sometimes you have to do something in order to get some birr.
Exactly my thoughts. And your new employer you mentioned?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard of them. They are yeah, a little bit of a secret. Maybe if I trust you enough, I can tell you along the way.
So long as it's not going to cause any problems with this job.
Every job comes with a problem. I didn't catch your name.
Sorry, friend, I'm Ghazi.
Hello, Gazi. You know, every job has its problem. You never know. That's the excitement of it. We live on the thrill seeking.
Well, so long as you're not the problem in this job, we'll be fine.
Hopefully not. The last time, you know, I think you know Ocean that much, right?
He seems to say almost exactly what Oshian, I'm sure, told you in the last adventure, Zeki.
Yeah. Yes,
In
exactly the
almost the
same
same
words.
tone of voice.
Yeah.
So let that be a warning or otherwise to you. So yeah, let me just recap on what your client told you. He's obviously working for Amron Dar Esfanjar, who is a sultan controlling vast plantations and a marble quarry in the lowlands north of Darbari. He also has a small militia and a couple of warships and a sand-sailing gravcraft. His daughter, Lala, and his son, Vahid, are enrolled at the Fermel Garoud Mathematical Institute in Dada. Both are students with an excellent reputation, but the son went missing a couple of weeks ago after a visit to the Dome of the Icons by the Yellow Sandstone Mountain in Lotus City. The local guards have no clues, which is why you've been brought in. The local police here are called Latifs, and obviously the Dart is somewhat upset that the Latifs don't seem to be bothered by this disappearance or with protecting Lala, who is currently still in Lotus City.
How old are they? Children
They
or
are,
just teenagers?
they're in their late teens, early 20s.
Okay.
So yeah, university students, so kind of around 20 years old. Now, this is particularly concerning because the chap you were talking to has received reports of youngsters missing from several wealthy families. Kids, local cults and rebel cells have grown in power recently, and there is speculation that the missing youths have been kidnapped to extort their families. So your mission is to protect Dar Esfanjar's daughter Lala, to find Vahid, and to investigate the local police's failure to recover the missing youths.
And sorry, could you just repeat? Wahid went missing after visiting what did you say?
The Dome of the Icons.
Dome of the Icons. Okay.
Which is by the Yellow Sandstone Mountains in Lotus.
And Lala, where is she now? Or is she still? Oh, she's missing.
She's
Lala
still
is not
in. She's not missing, but she is in the Lotus City, looking apparently for her brother.
Okay, so they don't know where she is. They just She disappeared looking for her brother. Do you mean?
You think, they think she's staying in the city of the pilgrims. I can give you another map if we want, actually. Let us do that. Let me find another window. There we go, and just on that one. So this is a sort of tourist map of the city. You're about 20 miles from here at the moment. I'm just trying to find where everything is. This is a sort of so the up on this side, the mountains sort of reaches up above the city, and this bit is a sort of plateau on the side of the mountain. This is a deep crevasse called the Wound, down one side of the mountain. This is another little sort of another plateau, which is about the same height. And Pilgrim City is, if I can find it, here, just outside the walls of the city.
Okay.
The Dome of the Icons should be here somewhere. It's P1.
In the middle, just up
there. Yeah.
Okay, so the daughter is in the city of pilgrims, we think.
K6. So K6 is the city of the pilgrim. Oh, Pilgrim City. Okay, K6.
Yeah.
And
I'll have that call up whenever you want.
Is the Mathematical Institute on there?
No, the Mathematical Institute is in a different city entirely.
Dada.
Ah, I see. Okay.
It's in Dada, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
That's in Dada. Yeah. Okay.
So, what could I say about Lotus City? I can say quite a lot about Lotus City because there's a whole section on the temple city of Lotus here. The holy city of the Dars, the temple city of Lotus, is located on Mount Loti in the Golden Tara mountain range just west of the Wound. Jutting rock columns and stooping plateaus of wind-worn sandstone make up the basis of the countless temples, statues, and houses that were carved straight from the bones of the Red Planet by Dabaran's original settlers. At the highest plaza, underneath the Dome of the Icons, one finds the Lotus Halls, the ancient home of the Third Horizon's very first sultan, Niusha Dari Tara. Today, the temple and its amphitheatre are used by the Lotus Council for political debates. On the Dome Plaza outside, thousands of pilgrims crowd together, tired from the walk up the Traveller's Alley, 257 stairs, and the long trek from the spaceport where you currently are in Basgura. No one is allowed to fly into the city or indeed take a vehicle into the city. So most of the pilgrims walk. You can, if you have the burr, get carried.
I think walking will do me.
Yeah. I will not waste any money. Shall we go, Ghazi?
What do you think? Pay a visit to the daughter first, maybe?
Do you want to do any research before you go? Any questions you want answered that you can use the local bulletin terminals and the like to find?
Yeah, how many missing... the missing reports, is there any ransom notes or anything that came to light about any other missing things?
Okay, make a data gin roll to see what you can pull out of the public archives, but it's quite easy. This is not going to give you any. So add 2 dice to your data gin roll.
Okay, so I have 8, so 10 dice. So I will probably roll Scheisse. So 6, 7, 8, 10 dice. Okay. That's a lot of dice. And I will probably fail. 2 successes.
2 successes. Yeah, so there are, in the news reports, buried a little bit deeper, you realise, than you might have expected, with loads of teenagers and young people in their 20s actually going missing. But there aren't particularly ransom notes. They generally, if there are notes left for the parents at all, they generally say, "Don't worry about me, I'm fine." Some of them speak of falling in love, but most of them seem to stop all communication after that.
Sounds more like they're being recruited than captured.
Yeah, there is a lot of crazy cults around the horizon now.
Mm-hmm. How about, can we find anything else? Can we find anything out? Any sort of recent news items or anything interesting about the Dome of Icons? Any sort of suspicious activity going on there?
Let me have a look for you in my big book of the Dome of the Icons. So most of what you find, I'll give this to you anyway because it's, you've got 2 successes, is a kind of tourist information where it talks about a domed octagonal temple cut from the golden rock of the Taras, consisting of a central chamber housing an amphitheatre and several high stands for an audience, surrounded by 8 pagodas, 1 in each corner. Each of the smaller pagodas has been built in the architectural style of a first-come, third horizon culture. Theologists and archaeologists have identified styles and motifs from Darab, Mira, Kua, Menkar, Ordana, Odakon, and Zalos. But the 8th pagoda in the northeast corner is built from polished marble and a red coppery rock in a style not native to the third horizon. Patrolling warrior preachers and stern lotus sisters enforce strict order in the temple during the hours when the pilgrims are allowed inside, between midday and until the sun is obscured by Mount Loti's highest peak. If you're looking for more gossip, again, this isn't particularly recent, but it said that before the Portal Wars, the Circle of Seekers, having tirelessly cared for the city's pilgrims through a tumultuous series of coups and usurpers, were entrusted by the Dars, who pretty much govern Dabaran, with governing Lotus. There was a growing contingent of female seeker prophets and philosophers within the faction who became known then as the Lotus Sisters. And they made sure the city saw a new golden age even amidst the raining fire of the wars and the earthquake just before the ceasefire, when the wound swallowed large sections of the city. There was eventually a schism with that faction and the rest of the Circle of Seekers. Either of you got culture?
Culture? No, I don't have.
No.
That's as much as I'm going to tell you then.
Okay. So the Lotus Sisters are still in charge, at least of the
Yes.
Dome of the Icons. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think what might be worth pointing to is there is now. Where can I find this? Actually, it might be important to say this. Oh dear, where did I read this? I know I read it somewhere. I hate it when you read something and then you think, where is it? But broadly speaking, I'll tell you what it is. The Lotus Sisters, there have been some slight ructions with the politics around here, and it looked like the Dars wanted to take on governing Lotus City directly. They were prevented from doing so by the consortium, so the Lotus Sisters are still in charge. However, they have had to agree to the consortium's scientific foundation doing an archaeological dig around the city. So that has been the quid pro quo of their continual governance of Lotus City.
Okay, so should we go to the temple and just observe if there anything suspicious? Anyone lurking around young
I think-
men?
Yeah, first and last place he was seen.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
Okay.
I think the only leads we've got are the temple, and of course we should talk to Lala, the sister, the daughter.
But what strike me a little bit odd that the what's the name of the police? Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, the Latifs.
The Latif are not doing their job. It's a rich
Yeah.
person. It's a rich person, so
Being paid off, maybe,
Mhm.
or scared of upsetting the wrong people.
You have the name of the commissar of the Latifs in the city, whose name is Aid Babak Sassani. You can see him in a few pictures. He's in his 60s, and he looks to you like the sort of person that doesn't want any trouble before his retirement, which is surely not far away.
Maybe we can just go pay him a visit after the temple. Maybe grease him up or threatening him up, and check what we can do.
One or the other normally works.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we go to the temple
Good.
first.
Take a walk. Take the long walk. Visit the temple.
Okay, I'm going to make you make a roll for your long walk. It's hot, it's dusty, it's 20 miles. So I think...
I'm feeling at home.
You're feeling at home, Mohammed. Well, actually, I guess that might be a similar environment. But I'm going to get you, both of you, to make a survival roll.
Sure.
Given the similarity to some of the Miran habitats, Mohammed, I'll give you +1 on your dice.
Okay, so 6 dice for me. Survival is the wits. Okay.
This is not looking great for me. But let's see. Yeah, only 3 dice, but 2 successes.
Excellent.
2 successes. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well,
Yeah.
you find pleasure in each other's company. And although it is quite a long and arduous walk, a lot of the pilgrims are taking it quite slowly. It does take you're guided into not leaving straight away, but waiting until the very early hours of the next morning, starting your journey then, taking a long rest at in the middle of the day, and along the route there are little houses that sell lemonade and things like that to to refresh the pilgrims as they go. So you take it in the way that everybody's advised to, and by the late evening of the end of the day, you approach the walls of Lotus City. In the shadow of the high sandstone mountain range, you get the sunset. I've got a wonderful picture. I might even have a wonderful picture here. Give me a moment.
Sure.
No, I haven't actually got it online. I will show you the beautiful picture of the city in the golden sunshine of the sunset. But that will be next week. I'll show you that. I'll get that ready next week. But the picture we used for the taster is the two of you obviously looking at the city from some short distance away.
Remind me of home.
Yes.
It's been long time.
So you can definitely get rooms in the city proper or in the Pilgrim City, which is really specifically designed for tourists like you to come to. Very simple rooms, only a few burr. But do you want to start your investigation now or wait until the morning?
I guess good information happens at night. Or what do you think?
Yeah, no time like the present.
Mm.
We can just freshen up, head straight over there, see what's going on.
Sure.
Okay, Dome of the Icons or the Sister are you going for first?
Dome, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you drop your bags in a lodging house in the Lotus City, in the Pilgrim City, as it's called. And then nobody stops you. I mean, people are able to wander in and out. You'll notice, there are Latifs, but not particularly doing guard duty or anything like that. But you notice one or two. There aren't very many of them. As you walk through the city, you notice that there are priests, kind of warrior priests from the Lotus sect, who are more plentiful within the city and who seem to be keeping, there's no disruption there, but because it's a place of pilgrimage, it's very crowded. The streets are quite busy, even this late at night, especially this late at night because it's quite cool. And there can occasionally be a press of people, and it's these sort of warrior priests who direct traffic, as it were, pedestrian traffic. There are no vehicles in the city at all to stop people crowding too much into any of the one areas. It takes quite some time to get through the city because of the number of people. But the Dome of the Plaza, the Dome of the Icons, and Dome Plaza rest at the highest point of this plateau, atop a golden cliff to which the city clings. Both locations are packed with pilgrims during the day, and many even spend their nights there, either in silent prayer or sleeping on thin blankets sold in the surrounding alleys. The Lotus Sisters are tending to those people, making sure that they're being watched over, and making sure that people have what they need in terms of food and drink, very simple food and drink, for which a donation is expected. They're not giving anything away for free here, or at least not that you're seeing. And they're sort of wandering amongst all these people sleeping in the plaza as it's getting dark now. People are bedding down to spend time there.
I'll tell you one thing, Zaki. You see all these priests everywhere in the city.
Yes.
The Latifs don't really seem to be with it, do they? I think although they may be the official police force, I'm suddenly not surprised that they don't know what's going on. But if they honestly don't know what's going on, I wonder if these priests do. Seems like they've got their eye on the ball a bit more.
Yeah, sure. Should we try to talk with anyone? Maybe create a story about one of our sisters is missing, and we're trying to find her.
Not a bad
declaring
idea.
the-
Yeah. See if anyone's seen anything suspicious.
Yeah, sure.
You're probably better at that than I am.
Yeah, I hope so. Let me try our luck. So, can I observe if any one that can I talk to?
The priests, the warrior priests, seem to be particularly dour, and unless they're directing you in a direction or the other, they don't seem to be terribly open to conversation. There is one of them is currently preaching a sermon as you speak. There is also an old white-haired woman who catches your eye because she looks like she's spent her entire life here on the plaza and watching everything that goes on. And there are a number of these Lotus sisters wandering around, tending to people's needs and, giving directions and giving answers. So you've got, I think, as you look around, those three seem to be the most approachable people. You may have to listen to a sermon from Mohammed Al-Zir before you get to talk to him.
Sure, whatever, boring conversation to get information. No problem. So
who are you going to first? Or who are you going to?
We go to the sisters.
Okay, so what do you? They come with a smile as you approach, and they welcome you as a pilgrim. Blessed are the pilgrims who come to worship at the Dome of the Icons. How can they help you?
Blessed be the icons, dear sister. And we need your blessing and the icons' blessing. Our sister has been missing and we are trying to find her. So we need your blessing too, and the blessing of the icons to give us guidance to find her.
She's missing. This is a concern. And she came here to the temple?
Yeah, she's last we talked to her, she was here. She was going on a pilgrimage. As our family are devoted to the icons, and she was there to do a pilgrimage as her first pilgrimage as a young woman.
Okay. Can you make a manipulation test for me?
Sure. Can I use one of my talents? It's
yes.
Yes, it's Dancers of Ahlam. It's I use one moment. Sorry.
Does it cost you a darkness point, that particular talent? I can't remember.
It's a group talent. And you so I guess no darkness point for it. No.
Okay, but we can only use it once.
It's not stated. It's a group talent. You group. It's okay. Let me read it for you. You can test dexterity instead of manipulation when trying to make a good impression.
Very well.
But it's not stated. Do I have a darkness point or? Your group get to choose one talent connected to the group concept. All the PCs can use this talent. It can be used individually by every PC unless explicitly stated otherwise.
I'll just, given that it's a group talent, Neil, Did you have a group talent before from your last adventure?
I don't think so, actually.
Are you happy
haven't got
then
one
to
on my
accept
sheet.
this as the group talent for you, this new little group
Okay.
we've got? Okay.
Cool.
Go ahead then, Mohammed.
Okay, so I have dexterity of 1 and agility of 4, so 5 dices.
Okay.
4, 5. Can I get one success?
One success.
Hmm.
She says she's not terribly helpful. And she says, very well, can you I will give you some time, she says, at our local terminal here. As you can see, we have some surveillance around the dome of the temples. If you can find the time you think she went missing, I will let you. I'll give you access to our surveillance network.
Sure,
and you can
I
see
hope
whether
so.
you can see her.
Yeah. Thank you, dear sister. This is very helpful. Thank you. Blessed be the icons.
So she takes you to a public terminal, but gives you the sort of address of the surveillance network. She stands over you a bit and doesn't want you particularly going through all the records. So you've got to choose the time when you're looking for, just look for a few hours of footage, as it were.
So, does Ghazi knows the information about which hour did Wahid disappeared?
I think you probably got that in your briefing, yes. So you can probably look around there.
So, okay. So I'm looking.
Data general?
Yes, let me get my dice. Okay. 8. Okay. 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. You catch sight of Vahid, not in the main plaza, but coming out of a door around the back of the temple. It's in fact, if you follow it through, there's a photo, there's a camera as well, just inside it. So you saw him coming out of the door. Then you wondered where he was coming from. He's coming from the main space of the inside of the dome, but he meets near this door a man of about 30 who you haven't seen before, and this stranger is the one that leads him out through a door that's obviously normally locked. The stranger unlocks it and takes him out, and you can follow him a little way, but soon they're lost in the crowd.
I'm just.
And what's the sort of body language? Do they seem to know each other? Are they friendly? Do they hug? Is it standoffish?
They seem to be, I think they hug, maybe. They definitely seem to be friendly.
Does the sister looking suspicious at me, or?
She's not particularly. I mean, you're not making it obvious that you have found a person you're looking for, and that person is a man not a woman, as you expressed.
Mm.
She's kind of standing by you, but she's letting the two of you talk quietly to each other.
I'm trying to look disappointed that we didn't find her.
Okay,
No
make
luck.
a manipulation roll then.
Okay, this time with no talent, so it probably suck. Manipulation is empathy. Okay, so 3 dice only. Nope, 3 ones.
Okay,
Oh.
well, luckily this is an alien.
Yeah.
Do you want to re-roll?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Darkness point for you. One success.
Okay, yeah, you seem to have obfuscated quite well that you have found a clue, but you turn away, and she says, "No luck."
No luck, my dear sister. I don't know if temptation has come to her. She's young and naive. First time out of home. It's difficult for an innocent person in the third horizon now.
We have heard it said that a number of young women and men of her generation are leaving their parents and their families after a visit here.
Really?
Yes. Have you not seen the news?
No,
We have no idea why.
Yeah, we are
it
very.
is,
Yeah.
I think, simply a symptom of the times. And obviously, this is a very spiritual place. I wish they would come and talk to the sisterhood and maybe spend time with us as acolytes. But there are many people hereabouts preaching and recruiting people.
Yeah, like who, dear sister? Because acolytes for the Lotus Temple, it's an honor for our family. If
it would be for your sister as well.
Yeah.
Can you describe her?
Oh, scheiße.
It
She's
may
a little.
be that she has come to us.
Yeah, she's a little of the boyish look. She's not. Sorry, she's not very pretty.
You did get photos of the two young siblings that you're looking for. So can I ask, are you actually describing Lala or are you making somebody up?
I'm describing Lala, yeah, a little bit with a lot of also, because they're looking the same, I guess. So I'm giving a description between both of them.
Right, which is why the boyish thing. But I'm going to make you make a manipulation roll again, I think.
Okay. Do you have any manipulation that they can assist me? Need?
Do I need it, don't I?
You need to have the skill, yeah.
Yeah, I don't, I'm afraid.
Okay.
I'm rubbish at manipulation.
Yeah, let's be the icons. One success.
Hey.
One success.
Yeah.
She says, you know what? I think I have seen her.
Good.
Yeah, I think she's staying in the Pilgrim City. I think you need not be concerned. I think she is happy here. I think she has come close to the icons here and just needs to spend more time here. I don't think she's one of these missing young people.
Oh.
I think you will find her. Ask around in the Pilgrim City. I'm sure she's staying in the lodgings there.
Good. Thank you, dear sisters. Thank you. Can you give us your blessing before we leave? And the blessing from the icons? Of course. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Bless
you. Bless you.
Thank you. And she very particularly, as is the way of the Lotus Sisters, blesses you under each of the 9 icons, giving no prominence to one or the other, which is something that the Lotus Sisters do.
Do we get a bonus on this one?
But that means we get a bonus on everything from now on.
No, but if you want to take the opportunity to pray and then have whichever of the icons you wish to have looking over your next few actions, then I will say this counts as a temple prayer, but you do have to name the icon that you're particularly wanting to go for.
But before we do that, I'm going to sort of do a Columbo, sort of say goodbye to the sister, and then kind of turn as walking off. And one last thing. We were also hoping to track down a friend of our sister's, just in case he had any information. And then I described to her the guy that we saw on the video footage.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm not going to make you make a manipulation of that. Your description is very good. And she says, "Oh, that sounds like Commissar Sassani's son."
Commissar Sassani is the head of the Latifs.
Okay.
Curiouser and curiouser. I said, "Oh yeah, that could be him. Yeah, that could be him. Thank you. Thank you. That's very helpful." And then I think we take our leave. And shall we pray while we're here? Why not?
Yeah.
Well, you'll take the blessing that she gave you. You just name the icon.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What's going to be useful? I'm going to go for
keep meaning to do a little overlay
Gambler.
that says which skills are on which. I've typed it out. I just haven't made it look pretty. Let's find out.
I've just written them on my character sheet.
Yeah, good idea.
In pencil. It's not very pretty, but it works. I'm going to pray to the Gambler for observation.
Excellent.
Or name the Gambler.
Okay. Which one for the data gin?
For Data Gin is the messenger.
Okay, I'll pray for the messenger.
Very well. Excellent. Right. It's dark now, but there are torches and lights all over the city. So if you want to find your way back to the Pilgrim city, then you can. Or do anything else you want. Do you want me to show you the map again?
Yeah, based on this information, I guess that's why the Latifs are keeping silent.
There's something going on with the Latifs, isn't there? For sure.
Yeah. So,
So we probably, I don't know. Do we? What's the best approach? We probably don't just want to march in there to the commissioner and come straight out with it, unless we're willing to back that up with a bit of force. But it seems too early for that. That seems a high risk strategy.
Yeah, if we're going obvious, we'll probably have the Latifs on our tails. That's not a good situation.
Yeah.
So, a question for you, Matt. For the data gin, I have to be on the console itself, or can I be near it to just hack it?
I believe that you have a device that lets you hack from a distance over the basic network. And remember, networks are at maximum global. You can't do interplanetary networks.
Maybe if we get close to the Latif station, I can check the AID terminal and check if I can pull any information from it.
I think I might make that very hard for you to do, but
worth a try. We could ask around. I suppose we could ask around about the sun as well, or see if we can get any information on the sun. He may or may not be part of the Latifs, just because he's the son.
Okay.
So when you're asking around and finding the Latif's headquarters, it's here at P5.
Okay. It's a little bit for. Do you want to get any information before we go there?
I guess I'd just be interested in if the son is he a known name? Is he like a public figure? Does he have a position? Have we got any information on him, or can we find anything about the son?
From the bulletin, okay. Can we check from the bulletin?
Yeah, worth looking on the bulletin.
Okay, I'm going to get you to make a data gin roll for that.
Okay, I will not use the prayers for this one. So I'm rolling the normal dice.
Remember, you can, you don't need to pray for the first dice. If you need to pray on this one, you get those bonus dice as many times as you need it.
Okay.
Until you pray to somebody else. It's not just one roll.
Okay, so I can roll it every time. Okay, until I pray again. Okay, so
until you choose a different icon.
Okay, so 10
or
dice.
I might say until the end of the day or something like that. But
okay. Okay, so 10 dice. 2 successes.
2 successes. You will find that there is a news item that lists the son, whose name I've just forgotten. Give me a moment. Where's that gone?
Go ahead.
There it is. Masak Sasani went missing and was purportedly kidnapped some considerable time ago.
Mm.
Uh, 2 or 3 segments ago, at least, I think.
Visually kidnapped. So, any news on how they find him, how they retrieve him? He returned alone, or?
No, he's still missing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So they are inside the temple.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, you very much saw him taking this person out of the temple and off somewhere else that was out of range of the temple's cameras. So I don't know whether I'd say that they were based inside.
Mm-hmm.
But he did have a key.
He did unlock the temple door. Yes, I don't know whether it was by a key or keypad or whatever.
Pass, yeah. So the commissioner may not, in fact, be in on whatever's going on. Maybe his son's gone rogue.
Yeah. So the Latifs are badly lazy as every other Latif that we around the globe. Oh, okay, around the horizon. Yeah.
They can't even be bothered to look for the commissioner's son properly. And we found him in a matter of a few minutes.
This is getting complicated. Okay, so should we go the way or we should get the sister?
Well, the sister. There's no risk in talking to the sister, is there? I reckon talk to her first.
I think you've got it's coming up to bedtime, but you could probably talk to her before you catch her. If you come back to the city, to the pilgrim city, I think you should catch her before she goes to sleep. Yeah.
Perfect. Let's do that then.
Okay.
That's where we're headed anyway, isn't it? So we'll be.
Yeah. Well, by
Heading back
strange coincidence, the place that she suggested you might find her is the boarding house that you are actually staying in.
There we go.
And so
Okay, perfect.
it's quite convenient for you as well. When you ask at the desk, they tell you what room she's in. And you find her in a kind of, this boarding house is a sort of a stack of prefab modules, self-contained units. You've got one between the two of you. They accommodate two, and you find her kind of sitting sitting in this module, slightly confused. The floor of her room is littered with torn notes, and she is kind of nervous and a bit agitated, but reasonably welcoming to you. What do you say?
We should have maybe discussed our plan before walking in. I think probably we're just going to be honest, aren't we?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. We've been sent by your father.
Oh, she seemed genuinely surprised that her father would send investigators to help.
Okay, that's weird already. We're following up, obviously, on the disappearance of your brother Wahid.
Yeah, she explains that she hasn't dared to leave the city since he went missing 2 weeks ago.
You have some fear for yourself?
No, not really. This
Is she the I see fear in her eye or demeanor that she's hiding something?
what skill are you going to use to see that? She seems to be weirdly open, but I guess if you use your observation against her manipulation,
Okay.
What have you got for observation?
I have 7 dice. 7 dice, so I will roll it. Two. Okay. Oh.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Do you want to
Seems
give
that-
me a darkness point?
How many dice?
Gorgeous darkness point this is.
Yes.
Go on,
yes,
you know you want to.
Yes. What the hell? We are going to die anyway. So, sorry, sorry, Neil. Okay. I'm pushing it. I only got 1 success.
One success is, I think, good enough to note that she does seem to be hiding something, not about anything particularly that she knows, but she keeps glancing at a slight join between the prefab units of the walls of this unit. And that is where, gentlemen, we are going to leave it until next week.
Okay, I thought the door was open with 5 bodyguards with torpedoes and.
No. Not yet. Not
That's
yet.
next week.
They will come. But yes, we'll leave that just on that cliffhanger clue there.
Cool.
My apologies for the problem I had.
Yeah,
with my PC.
that's no problem. That's no problem. We'll try and start viewers on time next week, because Mohammed will get his computer working before the appointed time, and not. It's a Windows computer, so it takes about 20 minutes to restart, which is the problem. So either he'll start half an hour early, or he'll get himself a Mac computer before the show.
Yeah,
because Neil and I were just discussing how brilliant Macs were, and they just work. Is words that I heard you say, Phil.
I must
Phil,
admit, I
Neil.
did say that. I
I just plugged my camera and entered the studio, and everything just went to hell.
Now, I will say, if you want to know when we're doing our thing, then do remember to subscribe and ask for notifications. And I will also say that on Thursday, Mohammed and I will be back with Thomas and John and the rest of the gang being Russian female pilots in the Second World War in the next chapter of our Night Witches saga. So do come and join us on Thursday, same time, same channel. And we'll see you either then or next Monday.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.